Studio Bark Projects is an offshoot of our architectural business, Studio Bark, which we set up last year on the back of Grand Designs project we did called the Periscope House. Studio Bark Projects is about bringing in education into the mix to try and blur the lines between architecture and construction. What we're trying to do is set up a kind of new business model where we can take on small and exciting build projects, often using students as a kind of workforce, but also to educate them on how to kind of get more in touch with construction and on-site skills.
Bark Live Build is a process of putting up a timber frame building in 8 weeks using a team of students who are architecture students, a related background, but they're not trained in construction, and we're going to be taking them through how to build something like this timber frame barn that we're going to be building here and for a real client.
I'm very interested in the relationship between designing and building, and I thought that Studio Bark were starting on an extremely interesting idea of helping with the design, dealing with all the specification, and then having the experience of seeing how the ideas could be put together, and that made it worthwhile for me. As a demonstration project, having a subcontract with Studio Bark to execute the complex parts of the structure, but they have a clean task of completing the frame together with the insulation and the roof covering. And for me to see that here and to see this barn completed is the end of sort of 10 years of work.
One of the main concepts behind the project is about low impact building. So low embodied energy, low embodied CO2 through sourcing materials more sustainably, more locally. I mean, all our timber is UK sourced. We've got tiles handmade in the UK using UK clay. So it's all about really bringing together a network of local sources to build low embodied energy buildings, low impact buildings that are also akin to their traditional environment.
My name's Rachel. I went to undergrad at Sheffield University and I did postgrad at Oxford Brookes University. So at the moment we're working on the composting toilet. The idea behind that, it sort of fits in with the whole studio ethos of being sort of environmentally friendly, sort of low impact energy design. So as we're on site using the facilities, the idea is that we use this. Everything that it's made from has been sort of found or scavenged, and the idea behind it is that it's sort of demountable, so when we leave site in 8 weeks' time we can just deconstruct it and then hopefully reuse some of the materials.
As this project has spiraled somewhat, we've managed to get some really amazing consultants to come on board, and also some sponsors. So to start with, it's supporting us for the consultancy is TRADA, who are really kind of pushing us on exactly how we build a timber frame. But the most important thing is if we're teaching students how to build a timber frame, we're building it in the very best way possible, most efficiently, most airtight, best insulated, using the best materials. And we've also got support from Royal Forestry Society, Grown in Britain, Woodland Heritage, Weinerberger and BSW, who are very kindly helping us with the supply of the UK sourced carcassing timber. We've also got, let's say, Smart Ply and Jewsons and Ridgeons and Travis Perkins supporting us locally.
I think that architectural students these days, particularly in the era of design build and particularly working for the larger architectural practices, get almost no experience at all of what it's like to work on site, what the issues are, and we hope will be a really invaluable experience for them, because it's most unlikely that they'll get it anywhere else.
My name's Wilson Lamb. I'm from UAL. These projects is definitely important for students, as I believe that you can't learn without being physically into or actually get your hands dirty. There's only so much books you can relate to and so many theories you can read. It's something you don't get taught in school. It's dealing with other types of people within the same industry.
My name is Yong. I came from Malaysia actually, and currently I study in University of East London. I taking part of this in this project is because I think it's a very good opportunity for students to get involved in the life build project. It's kind of after study for 6 years, and then it's the time to get all your knowledge in the real construction site.
My name is Vasco, and I was a student at University of East London, and this project was straight away very interesting to me. I knew Will from the beginning, and I wanted to do something that was hands-on and to make the difference between being a student and like professional, like working as an architect. Projects like this are really important because they put us in the place where everything is happening. You know, we get to see how things are built, we get to be on site, you know, we get to know a little bit about how slow things are, how quick we can make things, and to make a difference between designing and like building. I think like that space there is what I'm looking for.
I'm Melvin, I'm from University of East London. This is a very new beginning, a very new experience for me. I never lived on a campsite before and never worked on a construction site before. It's very new and it's not easy for us on the first week, as we have to set up the accommodations, and then you work from the morning until evening, then you go to sleep and wake up again and work again. So the time flies when you work on construction sites, but it's a very good experience.
Well, I'm Nathan Rich. I'm from Northumbria University. I'm interested in environmental architecture and sustainability. That's one of the main reasons I wanted to take part in the live build. I think projects like this is very, very important. To get hands-on and sort of work with an architect is very important.
I'm Funto Thompson and I'm at the Bartlett School of Architecture at UCL. Well, this is the first time I've actually done something so hands-on and like taking like my design knowledge and practically seeing it played out and working very hands-on with tools and on site. So it's like a big learning curve to like see it unfold, but physically on site rather than just through drawings and on the computer.
Yeah, it's progressing very well. We've now got most of the timber frame built, and we're about halfway now. The insulation's gone on a lot of it, and we've got different types of timber fibre insulation. So yeah, soon it'll be a super insulated, airtight building. And we're just waiting for the trusses. We've got the truss driver just getting ready to hoist them up onto the top of the building. It's amazing how in 4 weeks we've gone from people who've never really even picked up a hammer to people who can self-manage, very accurate down to the nearest millimetre. I'm often getting students coming to me saying, it's half a mil out, what do I do? I'm thinking, wow, half a mil out, that's brilliant. That's about 5 mil better than the average building site. So no, it's great, everyone's coming on, they're having a good time. Everyone's kind of taken to different weekly tasks, whether it be site management, programme management, health and safety, CDM. So yeah, everyone's really getting quite a well-rounded experience.
My name is Rachel and I'm at UCL. I think the most valuable skills that I've developed is just the knowledge of actual timber frame construction. So the fact that vertical parts are called studs and you have rafters and noggins and things like that. I didn't know any of this before I did Studio Bark. Everything was kind of, you just draw 2 lines and that's how something stands up. Because on paper anything stands up because it doesn't have to work. So mainly just actual valuable knowledge.
I think that the project has gone better than we could have possibly hoped for. We've had a really sort of great cohort of students on site. They've all meshed together as a unit, and they've really picked up the task that we've given them. They've turned from architecture sort of graduates to construction workers. Obviously, for them to progress into real craftspeople would take another sort of series of years, but they're well on the road to kind of doing something quite special, I think. Many of them will probably carry on through their architectural profession and go into practice, but I think having that experience of working with your hands, of kind of understanding the importance of getting a joint to fit together perfectly, or using your materials responsibly, that will stay with them for many years, or at least we hope so.
We're now fast approaching our last week on the project. We've got a few tiles to lay, the porch area to finish and a bit of cladding to do. One of the biggest challenges we've had here is that we started off with a fairly uneven slab, and that's meant that from day one getting all the different sole plates level has been very challenging. When the sole plates aren't level, it's very hard to then bring the building up level. So we've got around that, we've worked it out eventually, and so that was probably our main challenge from what the site had to offer. And then it's been a case of managing the students and different consultants coming in, different orders to a very remote site, it's very hard to get to with very little mobile signal or internet. So it's been very much a kind of disconnected camp here, but I think that's been really good for everyone to get totally involved in the project.
My name is Bethany Scott and I'm from Northumbria University in Newcastle. I've really enjoyed it, yeah. I think it's been quite a challenge. Being on site and doing a project like this, I've never done it before, so some of it has been a slight challenge for me, but being amongst a lot of people who are in the same situation and we're all learning as a team, I think it's been quite an easy environment to learn in, and I think we've all learned quite a lot and worked together quite well.
Being involved in this project has been really influential for me. It's sort of given me aspirations of what I would like to do in the future. I would definitely like to work more hands-on in architecture rather than in an office. But it's also given me a broad range of skills such as roofing, which I might like to explore further in the future.
I think personally it's actually helped me as a designer to understand what's beneficial on site, so for the people constructing this, what makes their life easier and what will be more efficient, sort of detailing mostly. So what might seem like a great idea in the office when you're just drawing it up in isolation, actually when you transfer that on site, what's a really difficult detail to sort of create on site and what's useful for them.
Working on this project is full of surprises. We all knew that was a hands-on project from the beginning, but eventually we all found out that there was a lot that we needed to learn. But as a team, it was quite amazing how we helped each other and learned quite a bit from each other. And so far it's quite amazing. It's been 6-7 weeks. And living here, working here, all together, camping together, cooking for each other. It's a great experience actually, it's quite nice.
Today's a very important milestone. We've done a lot of tiling, as you can see, and we're just about to hit the last ridge tile, which traditionally is the topping out ceremony. So we're going to try and do a kind of, I guess, a slightly modern interpretation of a traditional topping out ceremony with all the students as a little celebration really, and to thank everybody for all their hard work.